to Purposeful English's Expression Sessions. I'm Angela Edmonds, and I'll be helping you learn the ropes for how to get the hang of certain idioms and colloquial expressions. At first, you might think they're a pain in the neck, but once you get the hang of them, they'll almost become second nature. Ready to get the ball rolling? All right, let's get down to business. The first order of business is to define our terms. What does idiom or colloquialism actually mean? These are just different expressions that are used in everyday life and in business to convey meanings, and they're used so often. And native speakers don't know they're using them, but for a non-native speaker, this can be devastating. You just can't understand what people mean by what they say. Because, for example, an idiom is a group of words that together have a meaning that's not easy to understand from the individual words. For example, many people will say, "It's raining cats and dogs," when the rain is very heavy. Now, "it's raining cats and dogs" makes you have an image of actual cats and dogs raining from the sky, which isn't possible. So the individual words that make up that expression don't really give you an idea of what the expression means. But only together can you understand what it means, because people use that phrase a lot to mean it's raining heavily. You just have to learn these expressions and their meanings. So that's what we're going to roll up our sleeves and do together. Another type of expression is a colloquialism. Colloquial expressions are just expressions that arose from everyday language. Sometimes they arose from informal verbal speech. If I give you an expression that's only used in informal situations that you would never use in business, I'll tell you. An example of a colloquialism is, "I could care less," which means I don't care at all. English speakers put words together into expressions, and we use these expressions over and over. It will really help you in your work and everyday communications in English to understand them. So, let's roll up our sleeves and get started on learning some of these. So, let's get going. This session's expression is to take something with a grain of salt. This expression means to accept it, but have some doubt. Where did this expression come from? This expression came from an old antidote to poison, which required a small amount of salt to make it work. How do we use it? Well, imagine you have an aunt that is always giving everyone advice. Sometimes her advice is helpful, but many times it's not. Imagine she says something to your brother that really bothers him. You might look at your brother and say, just take what she said with a grain of salt. You're basically telling your brother, don't believe everything she says. Don't let it bother you. I hope you've had a blast with this expression session. Take note of what you've learned. Write it on a note card, make a note in your phone, whatever it takes. But for heaven's sake, give it your best shot to use this expression at least 3 times in your everyday speech this week. Keep in mind, practice makes perfect. If you found this helpful, please click the like button below. And to be sure you don't miss the next expression session, click the subscribe button below, or follow the blog at purposefulenglish.com. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.